I was driving up through northern KZN a few months ago when I looked in my side mirror and noticed the side of the caravan behind me seemed to be coming away from the body. I stopped and taped it together with some duct tape and continued on with my journey. When I was settled in at my next campsite, I had a good look at what was going on. I've been towing this caravan over some very bumpy, rough roads over the past 4 years, and it really isn't built for such rough treatment. The shaking had loosened the grout that seals the caravan, and water had got in. When you work with water damage, you have to think like water. It comes in at the top or down the sides and flows downwards over the wooden beams that form the skeleton of the caravan, and it leaves them wet. Over time the wood will rot, and that's where I was at this stage. Unfortunately, they made this caravan with a pine wood frame, and pine rots very easily. It's quite easy to get into the walls to have a look. I removed the rubber ceiling strip, after which I could see the screws that hold everything together. I took these out and removed the aluminium beading at the side and at the bottom. Now I could pull the side metal away just a little and shine my torch in to see what was happening inside. I found about 1 meter of very rotten wood at the bottom and also at the front side of the caravan. So I took the rotten pieces out and measured the remaining battens for size. I then went off to the local furniture maker to see if I could find some decent wood. I'm in a small village in Mozambique right now, and there's very little here, but I did manage to find some hardwood and had them cut it to size for me at a cost of about 400 Rand, which is about $20. I took my wood and some screws that the shopkeeper assured me were rust-proof back to the caravan and figured out how I was going to tackle the repair. I didn't have a workshop or even a work table to work on, so I improvised with what I had. Plastic beer crates make good work tables, and I use them for packing food and bottles when I move. A cordless drill is essential for this type of job. Mine is a little 12-volt Ryobi, which is light and powerful enough. I love it. I had an 18-volt drill, but found it to be too powerful for what I needed, and much heavier, more tiring to work with for long periods, so I prefer the lighter 12-volt drill. I also carry a cheap circular saw, an electric drill, an angle grinder, and a few other power tools, all of which I had before this journey and just brought along with me. My tool bag has a load of screwdrivers and tape measures and all of the little things that one needs to do most repairs. After cutting the wood and screwing it into place, I was ready to put the whole thing back together. Being in the countryside, it was difficult to find stainless steel or even galvanized screws, so these are probably going to rust. I'm probably going to have to take everything apart when I'm able to buy some decent screws and replace all of these screws. I'll have a good look at everything over the Christmas holidays. Once the new wood was in and secured solidly, it was time to seal up the caravan. This is done by putting caulking sealant into all of the joints. I didn't have much choice of cork to choose from here, so I used what was available, and I think it'll be okay. The cork cartridge is fitted into a caulking gun, and then as you pull the trigger, the cork flows out in a smooth stream. I use a wet finger which I dip into a little water to smooth off the joint. Practice is the only way to become proficient at this. It can be a really messy job. I learned a lot from doing this repair. Firstly, I'll regularly give the bottom of the caravan a good pull all around the caravan. If anything is loose, you've got some damage and need to repair it. Secondly, I'll have a look at my caulking at least once a year and redo anything that's failing. And then I realized that this is really an easy job. It just takes a bit of time. I paid about 600 Rand for the wood and the screws and some caulking. If I'd taken it into a caravan shop, they would have charged me around 15,000 Rand to do the repair. Many caravan repair places don't really know what they're doing, and some won't do a good job. 2 years later, you'll have the same problem again. I know what I've done, and I'm confident that with the hardwoods that I've used and the way that I've sealed the caravan, my repair is going to last for a long time. And lastly, I've done the job now, and I know what I'll find if I open up the caravan wall. It's given me confidence to do any repairs myself, wherever I am in Africa, at a very affordable cost.